Now we can get a Chinese perspective on what's happening in Syria, and we're joined by Professor Tao Wenzhao from Tsinghua University. Thanks for being with us again. You've been following the events in Syria, and from what you have been reading and seeing, do you think the violence is going to get worse?
Well, I think the situation in Syria can be further deteriorated. Although President Assad has lifted the half-century-long emergency law, and he has promised to make some reform, but actually he is not prepared to do so. So just after he lifted the emergency law, his security forces made a large-scale crackdown of the peace protesters. And Syria is a very special country. This country, there's only Ba'ath is the ruling party of the country, and no other parties, no other opposition parties is allowed to exist. So President Assad must feel that he is very strong, and then he can take all measures towards the peace demonstrators. So and the opposition, the demonstrators are not united. We even haven't known some opposition leaders from the demonstrators. So in that cases, I think it's very asymmetrical in the between the president and the demonstrators, and I think the situation may be deteriorate further.
And as we've already mentioned, Barack Obama and the British Foreign Secretary now, William Hague, they've both condemned the killing of demonstrators in Syria. How do you think Western countries are going to deal with what's happening there, and do you expect action that may be similar to what's going on in Libya at the moment?
Oh, well, I don't think so. I don't think so, because as in Libya, as we know, President Obama and Admiral Mullen openly recognized that the situation has come to stalemate. So the issue of Libya is still there, and the Western countries are just making all the efforts to solve that issue, but up to now they have not yet succeeded in doing so. So they cannot open another field in Syria, and Syria has its own complexity. We know that majority of the population are Sunni Muslims, but actually Assad and the ruling elites are Shia Muslims, and they have some connections with Iran. So if the Western countries launch such kind of airstrikes, military actions against Syria, then I think Iran probably will take some kind of countermeasures to assist Syria. So then the situation, I think, will be even more complicated. And another factor, as I just mentioned, there are demonstrators. There's not organized oppositions as in Libya. So I don't think the Western country will militarily interfere in the Syrian situation.